The anime begins with a little girl marching, while singing the Japanese anthem. When it happened in the 40s, didn't end well for anybody, except for non-Hawaiian Americans. And there is the girl who names the show, Komi-san. She's so beautiful that even a cat stopped to watch her. It must be the equivalent of a furry for cats. Literally, everyone around stops to watch her. What a bunch of inconvenient Actually, I don't know if they're really looking at her, since they don't even have any eyes. She stops to play with the cat, it checks her up, and then leaves. What a perv cat, even though it's equivalent to a furry, so makes sense for it to be disgusting. At school, we see this boy, and for some reason, he has a flower on his head. Did you know that flowers are technically the penis plants? It's like he's walking around with a dildo taped to his head, unicorn style. All of a sudden he's panting. I like to believe it's related to the genital he uses as a hairpin. Guess who's in the closet next to his? You can't see clearly 'cause of this ray of light. She's not that cute, but alright, he's already overflowing anyway. He tries to start a conversation, but finds out she's likely a robot. Plus, she's much cuter this way. All of a sudden the anime turns into JoJo, and looks like Komi-san is looking deep into the boy's soul. So she just walks away leaving Japanese characters behind. This must be the work of an enemy stan. Your next line is, what was that, all about? Anyway, he goes to the classroom, and guess who sits right next to him? And look at this bunch of weirdos, watching/recording her. How come no teacher takes no action? Why do these two kids back here seem to be jerking off? And why do those up front seem to be so happy to watch them? Poor girl, man. I started the video wanting to make fun of her, but she's totally the victim of these crazy ass students. I think to enter this school, you need to fail at least 3 psychotechnical tests, and agree to donate your brain for academic studies after your death. They're already planning an accidental death for Tadano, 'cause he sits next to Komi. The teacher begins with the introductions. I have a slight impression that this girl is nervous. It's Komi-san's turn, and there's a boom operator right there. His power is to be super awkward. This girl's mouth is smaller than a nipple. Then she goes to the front of the blackboard, and attacks the poor object using white chalk. Racism can be very subtle sometimes. Everyone celebrates something. Tadano must be the only sane human in this place. The class continues. Tadano is pensive. Someone tries to record Komi-san without her consent. She accidentally drops her rubber. So far so good. Then a ninja throws a compass at Tadano, freaking weebs. I like Chuni best when it manifests in cute girls, instead of annoying brats. She even wants to thank him for the rubber, but pretending not to have noticed is safer. This is the break bell, time to do break things. Or at least that's what Tadano planned to do, but unfortunately, he ends up being run over by this old man in school uniform. It's impossible for anyone to convince me that this human being is under 53 years old. Nice haircut by the way, buddy. A few hours after being knocked out, Tadano finally wakes up, and he ends up hearing Komi meow. That's a pretty shameful thing to do in front of a stranger. Now imagine that you can't even speak properly. She decides to deal with it as best she can, running away as fast as possible. Then Tadano yells at her, and she stops because she's scared of the boy. Can't blame her. Suddenly there's a short circuit, and his legs have a bad contact. I can almost hear them hissing. Look at how big his eyes are. You know what they say, right? The bigger the eye, the bigger the feet, and the bigger the feet, the bigger the IQ. He asks if she can communicate by writing. Then she gets cat ears and paws, and scratches the blackboard. I'm a fan. I want service. However, Tadano realizes he can't talk to women, and flees. Oh damn, she holds him by the shirt. Isn't she supposed to be extremely shy? They have a conversation by writing on the blackboard, about a bunch of nonsense that no one cares about.
What should I do?
Betting on horse races.
How should I start a conversation?
Have you ever tried not being a pussy?
And then what do I do after that?
You know you're being a pussy right now, don't you?
What if they don't want to talk to me?
Alright, that's an easy one. All you have to do is plant weed in one of their backpacks.
And then what do I do after that?
Call 911 on then, and play the Godfather Ost.
What if they think I'm boring?
They'll be just right then for fuck's sake. But trust me, they'll have bigger problems to worry about, like the police.
What if they think my smile isn't bright enough?
Fine, we're definitely not on the same page here. She's crying. I know, it sounds like a dog, but it's Homo sapiens sapiens. Here's the cute girl I'm looking for. Her hiccups are the freaking best. She begins to retreat, and damn, her hair is too oily. Then Tadano begins writing something on the board. Oh wow, that's a big ass cock. Time goes by, and they fill the board with Egyptian hieroglyphs. There won't be any chalk left for the teacher to use tomorrow. After that day she started to want his dick. 'Cause being nice is all you need to do, as long as you also look good. This ending is 1,000 times better than the opening. Now they're friends. The next day, seeing her at school, Tadano says good morning to Komi-san, and is promptly ignored. She's trying hard though. The next episode begins with the screen shrunk, in early 2000 style. Oh my god, a train. This can only be a reference to Makoto Shinkai or Bakano. These posts rising up are so deeply sad and cool. Oh yeah, that's the opening. It all makes sense now. But come on, how am I supposed to guess? I don't understand this urge to put the opening at the end of the first episode. Tadano wants to help Komi-san have 100 friends. Why 100? Well, we already know, Komi-san has a screw or two loose, so maybe she also has OCD. In his imagination balloon, everything happens easily and perfectly, but we all know that in the real world, there's always an asshole to plant weed in your backpack. He decides to approach this group of girls, and this one is wearing parts of armor. Fuck weed. Wait up, is she a female of the female gender and a weeb? Does anyone know if she needs someone to step on? Asking for a friend. I like how they changed the color palette, just because Tadano approached them. And like everyone in this madhouse, I mean, in this school, once she hears Komi-san's name, the girl becomes the joker. It's lunch break, and surprisingly, Tadano just realized we live in a society. Calm kid, self-mutilation is not the solution, still better than most American kid solution. So he decides to talk to his childhood friend. Anyway, this is Asana Najimi, which literally means childhood friend. What a strange name choice for parents. She'll never come out victorious in a romance anime. According to Tadano, Najimi always had her gender ambiguous. I'm going to use she and her, cause I don't know her Twitter account. And usually calls her in the subtitle, so why not me? Two other important characteristics of her. She's a childhood friend of 87% of the living beings that inhabit the earth. This obviously doesn't include Leonardo da Vinci, as he has been dead for a long time, like over 10 years. Also, she's the best character in the show, by far, really far. Let's go back to history. Komi-san is outrageously impressed by Najimi's social skills. Tadano wants Najimi to be friends with Komi. Some sexual jokes, so it won't miss the school anime vibe. It's just a joke, Komi-san, but he's assuredly horny for you, from the beginning anyway. Komi-san wants to ask Najimi to become her friend by herself. The problem here is Komi-san doing this by herself. Not even the stalkers are patient enough. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Oh, Komi finally said something. I think it counts almost as a whole syllable, a big step forward for her. Well, in Facebook style, Najimi refuses Komi-san's friend request. Both get perplexed. Why's that? It's not just cause she's friends with many people, that she's obligated to be friends with Komi. What do you take her for? Petrified by shock, huh? Get the hell off your high horse, Komi. Till yesterday you didn't have any friend, bitch. Tadano calls Najimi to talk, in quotation mark, about this thing of not wanting to be friends with Komi-san. I guess he has a knife. So he really tries to convince her with words. It'd be easy if he had a knife. Najimi says for everyone to understand this situation well, we're gonna watch a flashback. Then she looks up cause she's gonna watch it with us. Loli Komi is walking around the playground, when Najimi appears calling her to play. As we already know Komi-san, we know she panicked and had a stroke. Najimi was so traumatized, she was bedridden at the time, and get the shivers to this day. What a damn drama, feels like Shinji. But then Tadano uses serious face no jutsu, and convinces Najimi to help Komi-san. She thinks Tadano likes Komi, and she's right, but everyone else also likes Komi, even the grills. Commu 0-3, she's not an assassin, Jesus Christ, Fate fans everywhere. It's time to go home. Najimi and Komi go together, and also Tadano, who's from a safe distance, as none of them want to be seen with him. He walks with a plant penis on his head, so I can't say I don't understand them. Komi-san looks like a titan on Najimi's side, 1-0 to Najimi. 2-0 actually, since she probably has a but only if it's smaller than mine. Behold, two delinquents appear, to be more precise, a delinquent, and his walking tin opener. Then the bully declares his love to Najimi. Totally understand the guy by the way. She promptly rejects him. It's part of the game, bro. She's already into me though. Alright, the guy is a rapist. I'm very disappointed. I'd say I'm devastated. I finally find someone who can see Najimi's superiority over Komi-san, and he's a criminal, god damn it. But Komi-san won't let him do anything bad to Najimi, unlike Tadano, who's back there, pretending not to see a thing. She shows him the key she found on the floor, and he's got an urge to shit. The urge is so strong, he's already hallucinating, and then he turns into a bright rainbow. Makes sense though. Poor Komi-san, she's too scared. So Najimi accepts to become friends with Komi-san. All's well that ends well, except for this guy who lost his key, and will probably move. The next day, at lunch break is when things happen. Najimi asks if Komi wants to have lunch together. Well, Najimi said Komi-san get the shivers. I love you, jumping fried shrimp. My boy, this girl must have terrible eyesight, not to have noticed him there, or maybe Tadano has the same power as Kuroko. And obviously, the other peasants are angry with Tadano's success, having lunch with these two goddesses. They talk while they eat, but soon Komi-san's head overheats, cause Najimi speaks more words per second than she is used to. Tadano says to Najimi Komi-san plans to make 100 friends. Najimi doesn't even understand how this can be a goal. She made 100 new friends in the last 43 minutes. So she makes a small request to Komi-san. Come on Tadano, you may disagree with her way of acting, but not on her taste in cappuccino. Tadano looks transphobically down on Najimi. BT dubs, if I said something offensive I'm sorry, I'm not prejudiced, just very ignorant. Everyone checks up Komi-san's ass, shame on them all, but what an ass. And as a standard weirdo, Tadano follows Komi-san like a skillful stalker. I love the serenity in this mom's voice. Is she single? She has so little experience going out, she doesn't even know what to do when she sees a door without a handle. Just approach Komi-san, it's an automatic door. She finally did it, and it only took 8 hours. Dear God, it must be freezing cold out there. She tries to order, but unfortunately, no mouth is drawn on her face, poor thing. Does anyone remember what Najimi ordered? Thank you so much. So she tries to mimic. Tadano's dick is this big, and Najimi's dick is this big. Feminism wins again. Komi can't find the order on the menu either. I wonder why. Suddenly the employee has an insight, and reflects on life, death, God, the universe, the all, the one self, that guy from Fullmetal Alchemist, etc. Then he decides to give her the wrong order anyway. Komi evidently doesn't complain, and goes back to school. She hands the drink to Najimi, and tells her to stick it up her ass to put out her fire. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe. I'd like to ask you to watch at least 2 videos of the channel in a row because it helps me a lot. Also make a friend watch this video too. Use violence if necessary. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Bye.